Today's First Alert afternoon weather update is brought to you by Lockhart Roofing.
Good Friday afternoon, everyone. Meteorologist Stone Schaefer here live for our 2 p.m. First Alert weather live stream. I want to thank everyone for joining me here today as we look at that snowfall that is or has developed across mid-Michigan. Will continue to be a sight through the rest of today and possibly through the rest of the weekend. As always, if you have any questions, head over to our Facebook page at WNEM TV5 News. There I do try to answer any of the questions you may have about the weather going on across mid-Michigan. I do apologize if I miss your questions. We're going to start off looking outside. This is our US 10 camera where snow has continued to fall. Snow-covered roads have quickly developed. Traffic has been slowed at times in that area, and that's really been the common theme here across much of our Friday. Roads were slick this morning. We had some slowdowns. We added some freezing drizzle very quickly at times, and then it's become mostly snowfall, if not all snowfall here into the afternoon, giving us snow-covered roads that have become slick. Now, when we look at our, this is our US 10 camera again. We'll actually take our other camera, one of our other cameras. This is our Flint Vehicle City Harley-Davidson camera there, looking at 75. Traffic has been slowed. Roads, though, have continued to show that you can see the pavement. Just be careful out there if you are going to be heading in that area. There has been some slowdowns. And then we'll look into downtown Saginaw, another area that has continued to show some light but consistent snowfall over the last couple of hours. Has definitely lightened up just a little bit here over the last 20 to 30 minutes, but has improved just a little bit. And we'll continue to see this snow on and off through the rest of our Friday. We look at Sky Tracker right now, and it does show it's sort of coming in waves. So we had that wave early this morning that was very light for most. Then we had this sort of secondary area that is now moving through Huron, Sanilac, Tuscola counties, and then moving off towards the lake. And then you sort of have this third area of snow that has moved its way in, that is now crossing 127 and then moving east-northeast. Areas up to the north, you may have, or you probably have been seeing pretty consistent snowfall. So if you have any snow reports there, let me know, just because it'd be nice to know you really haven't caught that break. Sort of we had this area right between the Tri-Cities and 127 that was trying to break apart, but has struggled here over the last hour or so. And when we pull away cloud cover on our pinpoint Doppler, it does show us that sort of third wave moving itself across 127, maybe even some more consistent snowfall across Shiawassee County into southern Saginaw County. So that's Chesaning south into Owasso, and then eventually moving into Flint. And because of this snowfall, we have had traffic slowdowns. Here's your First Alert traffic maps. Our northern counties, just those slowdowns, areas around West Branch on M30 into M55, 75 from Standish all the way through Roscommon County, has been seeing slowdowns on and off through really much of the morning into our afternoon. We look into the sort of Tri-Cities area, Central Michigan area, and Bay region. It's a lot of yellow, a lot of slowdowns. We'll actually zoom in real quick on the Tri-Cities. 675 has been on and off slowdowns here since about noon. So if you have to travel in that direction today, be careful. 75 as well has been slowed down. Midland on US 10 around that area did have some freezing rain earlier this morning, so that also created slowdowns. Good morning, or good afternoon, I should say, to you, Linda. Hello, Tristan. Hopefully you're having a nice dry Friday afternoon. Obviously not everyone avoiding that snowfall. Then we move down to the south. Genesee County has had slowdowns. Southbound 75 was closed at one point about 30 minutes ago. That was right around the Clio area all the way down to Mount Morris. It looks like, or appears that has opened back up, but still slowdowns there on 75 through Genesee County, mostly southbound, but even northbound has had some slowdowns. So just be careful with that. There have been accidents on and off across mid-Michigan. Just be safe if you do have travel plans today, and just be prepared if you do come across road closures to have to take different directions to get to your location. Because like I said, southbound 75 was closed right there as you enter Genesee County, right around Clio down to farther south. that appears to have reopened. We're not seeing that alert right now on our map for that closure. So that tells me it has reopened, but still seeing slowdowns. Now, if you have travel plans to other locations, maybe you have to travel down to Lansing, actually has improved quite a bit. This is an area that did have slowdowns at times as that first round of snow entered, but even at this point, lots of green. That's a good sign if you had to travel that direction. And then obviously Metro Detroit is starting to see that snowfall, so really starting to see roads slow down there. This is obviously an area that earlier in the week had that sort of surprise snow that stalled in over Oakland County down to Metro Detroit and really just didn't move. And that was even in southern Genesee County. But right now, seeing those slowdowns starting to pop up. So if you have travel plans into Metro Detroit or even just south of Genesee County, just be prepared for those slowdowns here over the next couple of hours as we continue to see that snowfall. And hour by hour shows snowfall, while it may break apart a little bit, should be pretty consistent here through about 4 to 5 p.m. It's after that that most consistent setup may move itself out of the region, but we're not done with snowfall. We actually continue to see isolated chances through the night. It's just going to become a lake effect event as we get through the remainder of our Friday night into our Saturday. Here we at 1 a.m. on Saturday, showing a good round of snow trying to move into the Tri-Cities out towards 127, really right along US 10. So that will be an area we had to just keep an eye out for. M65 north of accident, whiteout conditions. Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. Just be careful. We're going to say it a lot. This is really your typical January snow, but I think winds are adding enough, are strong enough right now that are picking up a lot of that lighter snow. It was icy this morning. Yeah, we did, again, have some refreeze from anything that got treated last night into this morning. And then obviously some freezing drizzle developed right in between sort of the first line and the second line. So that's why we did see icy conditions. Again, did have some accidents. US 10 was really that hot spot for accidents. And again, had a lot of reports there. But like I mentioned, snow chances more consistently should start to move out by about 5 to 6 p.m., but we just continue to see isolated chances of lake effect snow. It's not going to be widespread. I think, though, it's just going to be enough through tonight into Saturday and Sunday that it's just going to be annoying for anyone that's really not a snow lover. If you're not someone that likes the snow, it just doesn't really go away, which is definitely a change compared to what we've been seeing over the last couple of weeks. We've been sort of in that sort of train of low pressure systems, but it also brings days of rain. So maybe we have a snow event, but the next day is rain, and then we have temperatures in the 40s and 50s. We're not really getting that with this sort of next 7 days. So if you do have travel plans, just be prepared. We could be dealing with icy conditions starting as early as this morning through next week as temperatures start to drop. We'll be back into the teens for our highs starting as early as this weekend into Monday. And we just really don't see anything that helps relieve that. It's going to be up to road crews to get out and take care of the roads here over the next couple of days. Obviously, they will be out. They've already been out today. Road crews busy since really yesterday afternoon, and will continue to stay busy most likely here over the next couple of days. Now, looking at our winds across the board, our wind is a little bit calmer than what we had over the last couple of days, but still enough that it is going to pick up any light snow that we have gotten today. It's at 5 to 15 miles per hour, mostly from the southwest. Wind gusts up to 25 miles per hour. We can see Saginaw at 22, Port Hope at also 22, Flint at 20. So that is just going to be enough wind gusts that you will see some snow picked up. You will see blowing snow and reduced visibilities be a concern through probably the rest of the afternoon. Even if you are in an area that doesn't see more snow fall, it's going to be enough to pick up that snow. Now, temperatures have actually warmed up throughout the day. That's the one difference from the last couple of days, as temperatures have just slowly started to rise just a little bit. It's still cold out there. It's mid to lower 20s, still below freezing. That's why we're seeing that snowfall, but a little bit nicer than those teens that we had yesterday and what we had 2 days ago, and a little bit nicer than the teens and single digits that we'll see as we get to the end of the weekend into next week. Your feels like temperatures, though, still in the teens. You're definitely going to feel that crisp air as you're getting out and about for your Friday routine. And then we get to your weekend planner. If you have weekend plans, again, just be prepared. Lake effect snow does look to continue pretty much all weekend. So Saturday, it's a chance starting as early as to midnight all the way through Saturday and then into Sunday. You will catch times through the weekend where it's not as widespread, maybe it's not as consistent, but I do think there's going to be periods of time through a majority of the weekend that you do see lake effect snow. Temperatures for both days on Saturday and Sunday in the 20s and teens. And I do want to highlight wind is going to increase once again, so blowing snow becomes a concern for both Saturday and Sunday. It's not as strong as what we had really Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, but still a noticeable wind up to 25 miles per hour. But I do have to take a quick break right now. Once I come back from that break, we're going to be looking at temperatures and sort of how they evolve here over the next couple of days and just more updates on that snow as we get through the rest of today into our weekend. So you're going to stay right here. Well, welcome back, everyone. Meteorologist Stone Schaefer here, live for the second half of our First Alert Weather live stream, just looking at temperatures and how they're going to evolve here over the next couple of days. We start off with our lows for tonight. It's not much of a drop of what we're going to see here over the next couple of hours. It's mostly mid to lower 20s. A few areas could be in the teens. I'm not going to count that out as we wake up tomorrow morning, but for the most part, you're staying above average for tonight. Average, again, this time of year, right around 16 degrees. Then we get to our Saturday. Like I previously showed before the break on our hourly planner, we're right back into the upper 20s. There may be a few lower 30s there. It's definitely going to be a range from upper 20s and lower 30s. Still cold, still going to need to be bundled up, but it's definitely one of the warmer days we're going to see because we are seeing some Arctic air move its way into mid-Michigan. You probably have been hearing about this. If you are someone that's on social media, there's been a lot of talks of it moving in. This is going to be probably late Sunday and then giving us a cold outlook for next week. So here's your hour by hour. Sunday afternoon, we're back into the teens. This is Sunday evening, actually, 8 p.m. on Sunday. Temperatures 13, 14, 15 degrees, continuing to cool off. Now, it's not that low on Monday morning. It's teens. It's going to be you're going to need to be bundled up. But we continue to drop temperatures as we get into Monday night into Tuesday morning. This is 6 a.m. on Tuesday. That Arctic air really showing itself. It's single digits below zero. We could have a few areas trying to approach teens below zero. We do actually have a little bit of recovery on Wednesday. We're back into the teens and 20s. It doesn't last long, though. Thursday morning, we're back teens and single digits, and then pushing below zero as we get through Friday night into Saturday. So this is a week away. Things could definitely change, but there has continued to be this outlook that we'll have colder days into next weekend. This is Saturday of next weekend. Teens, single digits below zero, so definitely on the colder side here over the next couple of weeks compared to what we've been seeing over the last couple of weeks. And then wind. I know this has been something that's sort of been sort of a bother, especially as we've gotten this lighter snow that can easily be picked up by our winds. We just continue to see wind gusts at 15 to 30 miles per hour from the south-southwest. So this is right around 4 p.m. seeing those stronger wind gusts. Does try to calm down a little bit tonight, but it really isn't by much. And then it's picking back up. This is 11 a.m. on Saturday. Your wind gust at 25 to 35 miles per hour. So that is easily enough for any fresh snow that you have to be picked up by that wind. So blowing snow becomes a concern, reduced visibilities if you have travel plans about midday Saturday, especially out Huron County. I know that's an area that does fight blowing snow and higher or reduced visibilities as we get these stronger winds, and then continuing to see really noticeable wind through Sunday into Monday morning. And I do want to highlight something that you probably notice here. Even stronger winds on the western side of the state as we get up Monday morning. It does appear that winds will continue to increase as we get into the new work week. So by Monday, winds could be back up 30 to 40, maybe 45 miles per hour. So we just continue this streak of windy conditions here over the next couple of days and into the new work week. Now your hour by hour, we're going to go a little bit farther here. This is going to go past today. Again, this is 8 p.m. still continuing to see those isolated lake effect snow chances. Again, consistent at times, but not the most widespread. It's definitely there as we have this west wind to see that lake effect snow. Saturday holds some dry conditions at times. You actually may see the sun Saturday afternoon. I'm not going to count that out. But there's also going to be times where you do have that lake effect snow wanting to fall across the region. And then as we get into Sunday, it does appear that we may have a more active pattern of lake effect snow. I think the biggest question that has to be answered is how far east does that snow reach? And then as we get into Sunday evening, we actually see more consistent lake effect snow wanting to fall. So again, we just don't really get rid of that snow chance here over the next couple of days. It will continue and will be a sight as we get through Monday, Tuesday. We'll show here actually our 7-day forecast that we continue to hold on to snow chances for the next 7 days. I think our most consistent snow chances right now are going to be the rest of today. And then I think Sunday night into Monday morning, that looks to be a more consistent chance. And then by mid next week, again, it's sort of far out. Models will definitely change, but right now models are showing again today, Sunday night into Monday, and then Wednesday being more consistent snow chances that will give us some accumulations. I think just be prepared. You may have a day where you scrape the sidewalk, you scrape the driveway, and the next morning you have more snow. So it's just that pattern. It's that winter-like January pattern that we do typically get. So we are used to it, but just be careful. Obviously, another sign you see here is temperatures staying in the teens and 20s. That will give us, obviously, conditions where roads won't recover as well without the help of road crews. So if you do live in an area that maybe road crews don't get to as often, off in the countryside or just maybe off away from cities, just be prepared. You may actually have a few days of sort of icy snow-covered roads as we don't have a situation where we're warming back up to the 40s and helping that snow melt. We just have those teens, single digits, and even 20s below freezing and more snow. So if you have travel plans here for the next couple of days, I'd make sure you tune into the First Alert, TV5 First Alert weather team as we'll continue to have updates on these snow chances over the next couple of days. Because I don't see any more questions in our chat, I am going to be ending the stream here in just a second. I want to thank everyone for joining me today. Obviously, snow chances will continue. We'll have updates over on our website at WNEM.com. The weather tab there always has updates from the First Alert weather team. You can also download our First Alert weather app. You can download that in your app store. You can also scan the QR code right below me. That will send you to your app store on Google or Apple, where you can download that. We send updates all the time, especially if you start to get in more active weather pattern. It also sends you alerts if we get a winter weather advisory or we get cold air advisories, especially into next week. Your phone will alert you for that. So that's just to help you be prepared for the active weather pattern that we are seeing in that obviously winter-like weather pattern. But as always, stay dry for the rest of the week into our weekend. Stay warm as we see those temperatures drop. Tune in this evening at 9 p.m., right around 9 p.m., where Chief Meteorologist Chris Easlick will have more updates on that weather for really this afternoon and evening and into the weekend.
Thank you for joining us. Today's stream has been brought to you by Lockhart Roofing.